Hey everybody, I decided I wanted to do this video because of a lot of things that have been happening lately. There have been things that happened to me, sorta, kinda, and just I have been reading a whole lot of things on social media and just hearing about things that from people that I know in person. So that's kind of why I decided to do this video. Now, this video is not going to be for everyone. So normally you know guys, I don't like doing disclaimers, but I'm going to throw one out here for the purposes of what I'm going to be talking about. And I will be talking about prayer, and I'm going to mention a couple scriptures, so that's why I wanted to throw that out there. If that's not your type of video, you don't have to watch it, but I wanted to throw that out there. So the reason why I wanted to do this video, first I thought I would start with what happened to me one week. Sorry, my throat has been so dry lately. I apologize for that. And I apologize for the clock going off right now. It drives me insane. But let's get back to the video. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I just had a bad week. It was one thing after another. I knew I was going to have to deal with a very, very difficult person. And honestly, it just tore my nerves up. This is one of those people you just want to avoid at all costs. So I already knew that was going to take place. So I was praying about that. Well, on a Monday, let's just keep that thought in mind. On a Monday afternoon, getting close to Monday evening, I was flossing my teeth as I normally do. It's a good thing to floss your teeth. And as I was flossing between the last two on this side, literally I heard this pop, and a piece of the next to the last molar broke off. Oh yeah, it did. Thankfully, there was no pain with it. I kind of expected something was going on. Let me back that up. I knew something was going on. Long story short, I knew I was going to have some work done on the back two molars and then the next to the last one on top over here. I've known that for a long time. I had a bad experience at the dentist. The work that was done was okay, but there were other things that was going on in the dental office that it was bad, and it really made me afraid. Not necessarily to go have work done, but just of the whole situation. I'm going to leave it at that. So I knew I was going to have some work done, but I was like, I'm going to put it off to January. Just please let it wait till January. Well, let's get back. I was flossing my teeth. I heard a pop, the tooth went flying, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I ended up going to the dentist the next day. I spent 3 hours there, and they started with the exam, the x-rays, the exam. I had I don't know what the dental hygienist did. It was a cleaning of some sort. Well, long story short, I'm going to have one root canal and 3 crowns, and currently I have a temporary crown up here. I decided to do part of the work before January, for the end of the year ends, so my insurance will pay for some of it, and then in January the new year takes over and I can have some more insurance, so that's a great thing. Well, so that happened, and so yeah, a little expensive week I had right there, let me tell you. And we'll be having in January as well. So that's just a few things that happened to me. Well, I will tell you, going back to that difficult person, I prayed about it. I asked other people to pray about it. And when I finally ended up having to deal with this person, it went so well. So I'm so thankful for that. But I also wanted to talk about lately, it seems as if there's just something going on in the world. You hear stuff on the media and the news. There's a lot of controversy going on. There's a lot of sad things that have been happening. And I don't want to really touch on too many of the topics. You guys know what I'm talking about. And the reason why I don't really want to touch on them, because if you mention one thing that's controversial, a lot of times it blows up and it takes on a whole new life of its own, and that's why I didn't want to specifically mention any topics that are in the news right now. But other than just to say, there's so many things going on, and people really and truly need prayer at this point in time. And then just other things that I've been reading on Facebook. there's people that I know that things are happening to, and other people that I really don't know personally, but I can, you have friends of friends and things of that, and just stuff going on, health issues, financial issues, just other things. And then this is also the time of year where people really struggle at Christmas sometimes. Some people it's a great and wonderful holiday, other people not so much. So I just wanted to ask if you believe in prayer, to start praying for your family, pray for yourself. Don't ever forget to pray for yourself. If you go to church, pray for your church leaders, your pastor, pray for your city leaders, your state leaders, your national leaders, and pray for families that have lost loved ones during that time. And I'm just asking you guys to do this. I know a lot of you do that anyway, but right now is a perfect time. It's always a great time to pray, don't get me wrong, but it just seems like there's just so much stuff going on right now that just stuff is just stirred up, and people really need prayer at this time. And so I kind of wanted to share a couple of scriptures. So I got my Bible, and yes, I have a pink Bible. Normally, I'll be honest with you, I use the Bible that's on my phone. It's just a little bit more easier because it's a little bit more handy, but this is my Bible. And I wanted to read a couple of scriptures, if you guys don't mind. Even if you do, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. So the first one is from the book of Ecclesiastes. That's a hard one to say. It's chapter 3, starting with verse 1, and I'm not sure how far down I'm going to read, but I'm sure many of you have already heard the scriptures, but I'm going to go ahead and read some of it anyway. And it says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing." So there's just, what that's saying is that in every season of life, there's a time for something. There's good things that happen, and there's bad things that happen, but there's a time and a purpose for a lot of things. Now, I would say that in certain things that are going on, I don't think there was ever a time for specific things to have happened. Let me just leave it at that. But in people's lives, there is a time that things will happen to you and to other people that you know. So I kind of wanted to leave it at that. Then this other scripture is coming from the book of Psalms, and it is out of Psalms 30, and it's verse 5. And it starts out, David is the writer of Psalms, and it starts out, "For his anger endureth but a moment. In his favor is life. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy cometh in the morning." And that's the part that I want to hit on, is that weeping may endure for the night, but joy cometh in the morning. So things will happen in your life, good things, bad things, but when bad things do happen, remember that they will pass. They do pass, and that joy does come in the morning. So I just wanted to share this video with you. I hope you guys were okay with this, but even if you're not, and this is not your type of video, I will hopefully do more videos that are your type. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye bye, guys.